Thrive Podcast 13. This episode is brought to you by the Thrive sticker. We have those for free available down in the descriptione. In this episode, we're going to talk about Joe Rogan switching to Spotify, making a play off YouTube. He's not going to be on YouTube anymore. What's the deal with that? We're going to be talking about some business ideas that I have, just like some ideas that I want to use to make money. Hey, that's a business, right? No, but my own kind of little twist on some kind of classic entrepreneurial ideas. I want to talk about some just like things that I want to sell. I kind of thought that I had gotten rid of everything that I don't like use, but there are more things to sell. I'm going to talk about those. I'm going to answer some Q&A questions from the Discord. You can submit questions to be answered on the Thrive Podcast in our Discord. And then, that is it. So, Joe Rogan has abandoned YouTube. He has signed a deal which can only be like in orders of magnitude more money than I can even comprehend to leave YouTube and put this podcast on Spotify. I remember when I first got into listening to the Joe Rogan Experience, like when I was looking for episodes to listen to, it wasn't on Spotify. That's where I looked for it. And excuse me. I remember even the oldest episodes, some of them weren't on iTunes. And you would only on YouTube find old episodes when they were already uploaded by other people that must have been recording the live stream, because I think he used to live stream it on Justin TV or Ustream or whatever back in the day. And yeah, so I guess his most recent podcast with who the fuck is it? I don't know. His most recent podcast on YouTube video that he announced it today that came out, where the first minute is him talking about the deal, has more dislikes than I've ever seen on a Joe Rogan podcast. And it's understandable. I mean, people I scroll through the comments and everyone's like, well, I guess I'm not watching Joe Rogan anymore because I don't have Spotify. And then it clicked to me oh, people don't, there are people that have YouTube, right? Obviously everyone has YouTube, but there are people that don't have Spotify. That never entered my mind as, Spotify Premium, right, is different than regular Spotify. I've had Spotify Premium for so long. It's been part of my life. The only way I listen to music for over 5 years now. And that was part of it that occurred to me that didn't, I was like, how can, I guess so my opinion of it, right, is I guess I don't mind, I don't mind, good for Joe Rogan. There are podcasts that, I listen to on Spotify that used to be on YouTube that no longer are, like David Dobrik's podcast. Every once in a while I kind of catch up by checking in on there on Spotify. But there are other podcasts, me being a primary YouTube consumer of my podcasts. There are ones that are on Spotify that, now I kind of just catch up with it on Spotify. I don't there's no notifications on my phone at all. So I don't get notified when someone posts a podcast on Spotify. But I guess the way I listen to Spotify podcasts are just kind of in a catch up way, rather than seeing them in my main feed, which is how I watch my YouTube podcasts. So yeah, and I was also never one to really I don't watch every single Joe Rogan podcast. I kind of check in on it, see if there's somebody I like, and watch that episode. Or, if I guess I hear a lot about an episode, I'll check in on that episode. But I don't see that affecting the way I consume the Joe Rogan podcast, since it's one that I don't religiously follow every single day, every one that's posted. First of all, it's a fuckload of time. Those are long podcasts and he posts them almost every day. But I don't listen to every single one anyway. So the ones that, I see myself consuming it the same way, just checking in, seeing if there's someone I like and listening to it. And it's just going to be a different app that I'm clicking. I guess sometimes I check in and look for one on my computer to listen to, but I guess it's not so much different using the phone for me, especially on Spotify, since it's I have Spotify Premium. I assume that I will just have, and I even heard that there's video as well on the Spotify, which I guess it makes sense that they're able to do that, but I don't like how that's going to work doesn't like appear instantly in my head right away, just because it's something I haven't done on Spotify, seen video before. But I don't see my consuming of the Joe Rogan podcast altered really in any way, honestly, from this, since I'll just check in on it like I usually do every once in a while. Usually I think I encounter like an Instagram post of who was on the podcast that day, then I go check in on the podcast. So I envision myself, seeing that same Instagram post. Oh, fucking this guy was on the podcast, so I'll go check in on the Joe Rogan podcast, look at a few, see if there's any that I want to listen to. So, but dude, how much money must that have been? Because like the amount of YouTube ads that you make, because they're long videos too, so they get multiple ads in them, and they get so many views, like multiple millions per episode on YouTube, and to not get that ad revenue, because I think that's the only way that he monetizes it on YouTube, because they don't have the like pre-roll sponsor reads, which I know do come on the audio one, like on iTunes. So, but still, just the ad revenue is like at least, I don't even know, like 10 grand an episode. It's got to be, with like multiple millions, probably middle of the range CPM, and they get views forever. That's the thing. Like the most viewed podcasts are ones that were uploaded years ago. Like the first Elon Musk. Like if you go to the top viewed YouTube channel, if you sort his YouTube channel, right, by the most viewed podcasts, those are ones that were uploaded years ago and are getting the most views. Like that's how most YouTube channels work in terms of views anyway. So I guess they'll still be getting the views and the money for that. Is it going to stay on YouTube? If they took everything off YouTube, that'll be interesting, too, because there's that aspect of like Joe Rogan's podcast where it's like I discover a new character, right, and then come to find out that person was on Joe Rogan once upon a time, and now there's this, there's 2 hours of this person that I can learn about from their Joe Rogan podcast that I haven't heard before, so hopefully the Spotify archive, right, will be as searchable, but sometimes you'll just discover you don't really stumble upon content like you do on YouTube, on Spotify. Whereas so if I discover a person, right, I watch a few videos that have to do with them on YouTube, and then you get suggested their Joe Rogan interview, right? Because it's like a video that has lots of watch time since it's a long video, and YouTube is like, oh, you like this person? Here's a video of them you'll like, because it's a Joe Rogan interview. It's a super long video that that YouTube will get lots of watch time for, so it recommends it for you. So if they take them off YouTube, there's no longer that. So that would be an interesting aspect of it. But yeah, I guess fair play, Rogan, but seemed to have pissed a lot of people off. I think it's fine. I think it's good. Good for him. But dude, it had to be so much, right? To walk away from YouTube had to be so much, dude. Was he holding out on Spotify? Because it hasn't been on Spotify. All right, whatever. That's it for that topic. Next, my idea. So I've been thinking of, my last podcast I was talking about how I'm kind of running out of money here in this quarantine. I've got the bank account dwindling down. I was contemplating selling my car, but I realized that if I sell my car, the money for it, like when you sell a car, this is just the way it works. I was talking to my dad about this. I didn't even know. This is the way it works. If you sell a car, like the money just has to go straight into the loan, because you're like, the car is the collateral for the loan that bank lent out to you, right? So in order to get rid of the car, you must pay the loan, right? Because I'm not going to transfer the loan to whoever buys the car, because that doesn't really make sense for them. So if I would need to sell my car at like profit from what I owe on it to even get any money, which is obviously not like it's not worth more than I owe. So there's no way I'm going to make money from selling my car. So that idea kind of isn't going to happen anymore, I guess. But an idea that may happen that I've been thinking of are like twists, like a Josh twist on these like kind of classic kid like summer hustle type jobs. So I was thinking about, the stuff that you do or stuff that I considered, like as a kid, shoveling driveways, raking leaves, mowing lawns, washing cars, these kinds of like younger teenager entrepreneurial type ideas. Since now I'm thinking, so what are things like that, right? That I can bring a fresh Josh perspective on, fresh 2020 version of me business idea to, that I could like get my younger siblings to, do the work of the jobs and I work on like the business part, right? So one thing I thought of, and it was just kind of like my first idea, and it probably wouldn't work when I put more, thinking behind it. But I was thinking like car washing, so obviously, so a lot of these things are like, the base edition of it, or the base version of it is like, you go door to door. Can I wash your car? Can I trim your bushes? Can I mow your lawn? That's like the base version of it, right? But then like you apply a bit more of a business eye to it, and then it's like, okay, you could pay this one time now, this like subscription rate, right? Or this like enterprise level package, right? So think of different tiers, different ways to monetize, like get a list of people and have clients, right? To keep these things going, rather than just the first level, like simplest version, door to door offering of the service, right? So there's that version of it. There's all the organization that goes into keeping track of all of that, right? And then there's like some twist, right? What is the unique thing that makes it different than any random kid going door to door asking for a thing? So I'm thinking like somehow incorporate like pictures or video into the thing. So the first thing I thought of was like, it's a car wash business, right? But then but it also has an Instagram page attached to it with the different packages or whatever linked in the bio. And then you get photos of the car afterwards. Like we take some fancy photos of it, the person whose car it is gets those photos. They can do whatever they want with them. But then it's like, all right, so that was my initial idea. And it's like, okay, so like normal idea, thrive, twist to it. But it's like, okay, people are like, if they're going to wash the car, they're going to do it in like an automatic fast car wash, right? And if they want pictures of their car, if someone cares about their car that much, which not a lot of people do, as I think the main bottleneck, people that do care about it that much are going to get pictures of their car some way themselves, right? Excuse me. So I don't know about that, but the thing I want to figure, but that's like the type of idea, right? It's like this kind of like standard idea, that could be made into a big business, or also could just be some summer hustle money on the side for like younger people, right? So that kind of thing, like side hustle type business with a twist on it, but like the work and the experience, right, is something I could share with my younger siblings, right? Like get them to do the door-to-door part, because lots of people, really admire like kid businesses, right? Like they'll go tip $20 at the lemonade stand. They'll pay a kid to wash their car, So not only exploit the kids for the sales, but give them that, like share that experience with them, go like making money with my siblings. That could be fun, but that's like the flavor of idea. I haven't really thought of anything else really. There's not in the Pacific Northwest here. So I'm on the Oregon coast, and there's not much like seasonal opportunity for things like that. Like there's not big piles of leaves in the fall and snow like there is in the Midwest. But yeah, I don't really have any more ideas of that. Maybe the car wash thing with the pictures is a good idea. But I don't know. That was my idea for that. Let's get into the Discord questions. You can join our Discord with the link in the description, the We Thrive Discord. I'm hanging out in there every day. I'm checking in on the messages. I'm responding to everything. People are hanging out, chatting. Okay, yeah. So I'll answer those questions. Here we go to the Discord. Podcast questions. From T-Port Sports, my Beloit, Wisconsin homie. Are you into more long-term investments or quick flips? This is about sports cards. Are you into more long-term investments or quick flips, and what do you plan to do in the future? And examples of them, possibly. I think I'm into more, a little bit of both. With the main the long-term investments, right? Are cards like that are established players, that are going to stay established players, like players that are good and that are going to stay good for a long time. Because like basketball is on a upward trajectory. I think that's safe to say. It's going to keep getting more popular throughout the world. And the main players are going to be the ones that get attention, right? So guys like Giannis, guys like LeBron, guys like, Michael Jordan, Kobe, Hakeem Olajuwon, Charles Barkley, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, like the guys that are synonymous with NBA basketball are going to be the ones that you want to invest in long term. But then I have more like fun cards that I've bought, like Devontae Graham, De'Aaron Fox, kind of unproven, that if they have a good game, you see their value spike a lot, and like that would be a time to sell and flip. So I guess my ideal situation is I've got, long-term hold type cards that are, the faces of the league, the Mount Rushmore players, and those are ones you hold. You don't flip those because they're just going to steadily rise, right? But have enough quantity of flippable, unproven players that when they pop off, you sell some, you hold some, so it's like you kind of get your money back, but you still have the potential to get more money from them, if it keeps rising. So good question, bro. And from Jay Bailey, what plans both in life and for your channel do you have after coronavirus? So in life, I don't know, man. So for my channel, it's gonna stay the same. I make videos in my house, and I guess there's going to be more state park content for my channel because the state parks are closed and I go there a lot. I'll be going to LA more often when things open up, because it's a cheaper flight in general. And my friend that lives in LA is like the closest friend to me in the country, so is the easiest to hang out with, easiest to visit, coolest things to do in LA as well. So more LA trips, more state park trips. But as far as like, I don't know, the message of the channel, the content that you see on a daily basis is going to be the same, It's going to be me. It's going to be me. That, spoiler alert, the videos ahead will also contain myself. Life-wise, after coronavirus, it's kind of uncertain. So Oregon right now, where I live, is in phase 1 of reopening, which is like restaurants and stuff are still to go. My job before was I was a bartender, and like my bar at the place I work is still closed right now because like you still can't sit and gather, and that's like what bars are. There's not really to-go delivery bars, so. So I don't have a job still is the point of that. Which means I'm going hard at like trying to get coffee clients for my coffee studio photography business. So like ideally, I get enough clients to keep doing the coffee business and not go back to work. But like if work opens up next week, then I'm going to go back because I need money. So that depends. Speaking of needing money, the other topic I was going to talk about is just like things to sell. So I had like everything I own could fit on my kitchen table. Like I'd really have only what I use. There's nothing I have in storage or anything like this garage. You see a lot of shit in here, but it's all my parents, all my family stuff. But there are a few things that like are almost like small appliances that are things that I 100% would use if I had my own apartment, like a NutriBullet blender, like this stereo speaker setup that's like those are my nice speakers, but I'm not using them right now, but I 100% would use them every single day a lot of the time if I lived on my own, but I don't right now. So it's like, are those things that I want to sell too? And do I not do that because it will just make more waste because I'll have to buy them again, right? More expensive new if I buy the stuff again. Yeah, I guess that's not really the most complicated point, but I kind of wanted to talk about that as well. I think that's it. Thank you for watching this episode of the Thrive Podcast. Tune in, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, man. If you are listening to this point into the video, join the Discord, get a Thrive sticker, get a Thrive hoodie, support me in any way, support me in every way, please. We don't want this operation to go under the table into the ground. But no, if you put stickers places, it's a cool sticker. It's a cool sticker. All right. I'll send it to you. It's free. Did I mention that? Free sticker. Thank you guys. Next week, I'll be seeing you. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Goodbye. Thank you to John, Ian, Ty, Nick, Ben, Ryan, Trent, and Noah for picking up a hoodie. Also thank you to Ashley, Colin, Kyle, Paula, Danny, Sam, Samantha, Jared, Travis, Bridget, Kendrick, Michael, Juddy, Emily, Amaka, Jade, Jess, Trinity, Eric, Jesse, Ellie, Harpreet, Jordan, John, Riley, Dante, Ryan, Elijah, Alec, Olajuwon, Matt, Anna, Eamon, Giovanni, Jackson, Hayden, Johnny, Malena, Kimberlyn, Jesus, Alex, Minkang, Tyler, Abigail, Joe, Victor, Joel, Nicholas, Sarah, Noldwin, Mikey, Simon, Adam, John, Andres, Clayton, Arterius, Clint, Jordan, Jaden, Jack. Thank you guys so much.